afternoon, Mr. Black.
Good afternoon.
You had indicated that you were contacted by someone that receives reports. Is that correct?
Originally, you mean?
Originally, yes, sir.
I was contacted by our Office of Housing and Residential Education, which is where our access and security team is located.
Okay, what is an access and security team?
So they maintain the security cameras in the facilities on campus.
Okay, and this access and securities team has access to the actual servers that host the cameras?
My understanding, yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen where this camera system, where the servers are housed?
Not that I recall.
Okay. And who were you contacted by? Was there a particular individual?
Randy Tarkington, who's the Senior Director of Residential Education, forwarded me the email from the access and security team.
Okay, so there was an email that was generated that initialized your investigation, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and have you given that particular email, did you give that to Nashville Police Department?
I gave a lot of documents in response to subpoenas and things. I don't recall.
Would that email have been part of your file?
In my email file, yes.
Okay, and is that typically the way that you get involved is by email?
Typically, the reports that we receive come through, we have actually an online reporting system, and so typically they come from that system, but sometimes it can be that this video footage was pulled in the course of a review related to another incident, so this was not necessarily the common way that we receive reports, but it happens occasionally.
Okay. Can you tell me about the common way you receive reports?
So we have an online reporting system. We receive a number of reports through that system from the residential education staff members who live and work in the residence halls, and it's actually public. Other people can file reports that way as well. And then we also receive reports from the Vanderbilt University Police Department at times of contacts that they've had with students.
Okay, so there's this online reporting system, and you said the general public has access to that as well as employees and members of the university, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, that's right.
And then there's this uncommon system whereby you received this information and that was just someone sent you an email?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have that email with you today?
No.
Okay, and you relied on that email, correct?
Yes.
And what did you do as a result of receiving that email?
I watched the videos that the security and access team had pulled at that point in time.
Okay. Was there anybody else copied on that email other than yourself?
I don't recall.
Okay. Don't remember?
Yes.
Okay. And when you received this email and you in turn subsequently began watching videos, did the email tell you which videos to watch?
It included a link to the video player, and so I clicked on that and the videos were listed there to watch.
Okay, so you didn't download the videos?
No.
Okay, so those were attached to the email?
There was a link in the email that I would click on and then log in using my credentials, and then the video player would come up on my computer.
That's my next question. So to view these videos, and we're talking about videos that capture what's being recorded on the cameras, which then goes to the NICE housing server system, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the link is to the actual videos which were captured from the cameras, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you were supplied these links in that email, right?
Correct.
Okay. And did this email, did it describe what to look for in these videos?
I think there was a brief description of what was on the video and that they had found that while reviewing for a separate incident.
Okay. And you watched the videos?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall how long those videos were in length?
I don't remember. This was on Monday, late afternoon, and I don't think they had finished compiling videos, so it was only a limited number of clips at that point in time.
Did they indicate in their email that they were still compiling videos to give to you? Is that how you knew that they had completed that?
Yes, I think they said they were going to continue to look.
Okay, and you're using the words they. Who are you referring to?
The members of the access and security team.
Did the email come from one individual or from a team? Is it a group team setting?
They do have a group email address that it sometimes comes from. I don't remember if it was from that email address or from one individual on the team.
Okay. And when you, I think you testified that you reviewed the links or the videos after hours. You said it was late. Did I understand you correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And after you watched those videos, who did you speak with after you watched those videos?
The next morning, I talked with someone from the Office of the General Counsel, and I believe with Randy Tarkington, the Senior Director of Residential Education, who had sent me the email the prior afternoon.
Did you convey to them what you had seen on the videos?
Randy, I believe, had also viewed the emails because he had access to the link as well, and then I did relay information to the Office of the General Counsel about the videos.
Okay. So, and you said Randy's last name is what, I'm sorry?
Tarkington.
Tarkington. So Mr. Tarkington was included in this email with this link to the videos?
Yes.
Okay. At any point in time, did you have a conversation with law enforcement?
I did not speak with anyone from the Vanderbilt University Police Department until Wednesday. I emailed on Wednesday morning and then met with 3 officers. I think it was early afternoon on Wednesday.
When did you interview, I think you said 9 individuals, is that right?
Yes.
What day was that on?
That was on Tuesday.
It was on Tuesday, so that was before Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you had not spoken with any member of law enforcement, Nashville Metro Police Department, Vanderbilt University, prior to Wednesday?
That's right.
Okay. Had you no communication at all? I'm talking about digital communication, oral communication, none whatsoever?
No, when I emailed on Wednesday morning, it was in response to an email that I had received overnight from the Vanderbilt Police Department.
Okay. You received an email on Tuesday night?
Late Tuesday night.
Late Tuesday night. And what time did you conclude your interviews on Tuesday?
I think sometime a little before 8, probably.
Okay. Who did you receive an email from late Tuesday night?
The Major Craig Robinson.
Okay. And did Major Craig Robinson give you any directions or any instructions?
No, he asked if I could contact him to follow up on what had been relayed to him. I guess the General Counsel's office had called the Chief of Police.
Okay, all right. And do you know that the Office of the Chief General Counsel contacted them by your part of this investigation?
So can you repeat that?
Well, you stated that the Office of General Counsel had contacted this law enforcement officer. How do you know that?
Object, because I'm sure that would call for hearsay as to how somebody else got to somebody else.
Well, if he knows. I'm sorry, Judge, if he knows.
If he knows what? If someone contacted someone else?
Well, if he knew why General Counsel contacted the police department. If it's in an email thread, if he knows, he knows. It's not hearsay if he knows.
Well, not for that particular question, true. But beyond that, the content, of course, would be hearsay.
I understand.
All right.
And I think I was just asking, do you know why General Counsel contacted the police department?
I know that the Office of the General Counsel contacted the police department. I talked with a representative from the Office of the General Counsel after the interviews, and he later told me that he had contacted.
That gets us into the hearsay.
Yeah. Not what he said. Okay.
So, just so I understand correctly, you met with these individuals on Tuesday,
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
You relayed information
Yes.
to Office of General Counsel, and you know that General Counsel then contacted law enforcement.
Yes.
Okay. We're not going to talk about what was said. Were there any email communications or any type of text message communications that occurred talking about your interviews, your findings, your investigation that you relayed to the Office of General Counsel or to law enforcement?
I spoke with them on the phone.
Okay, so it was an oral communication?
Yes.
And when you say you spoke with them, are you referring to Office of General Counsel?
Yes.
Okay. and your only conversation was Wednesday morning with law enforcement, is that right?
I emailed with Major Robinson on Wednesday morning to set up a time to meet. I did not actually meet face-to-face with them until midday on Wednesday.
And it was that Friday after Wednesday that you called Mr. Vandenburg back in for disciplinary proceedings, correct?
Yes.
Interim suspension.
Interim suspension, yes.
Are the words that you used. Who all was present during this interview with Mr. Vandenburg?
Do you mean in the room?
In the room.
It was Brandon Vandenburg and the associate director of our office, and then me.
Okay. So 3 individuals, including Mr. Vandenburg.
That's right.
Okay. And there's a part in the transcript. Please, Judge. On page 6, paragraph 7, where you ask Mr. Vandenburg, okay, and did you buy her any drinks? And it says, Now, we know what that means. What did that response mean to you? Is that a no or a yes?
No.
Okay. When you interviewed Mr. Vandenburg, was that at your request, or did somebody request that you interview Mr. Vandenburg?
That was at my request.
Okay. And that's common for you to interview as part of your investigation, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you indicate to Mr. Vandenburg whether he had an option whether to come in and be interviewed or not?
Just the introductory remarks that I mentioned earlier, that we wanted to ask questions about the weekend and their activities, and for them to answer to the extent that they were able.
Okay. And was that communicated over the telephone?
No, that was communicated verbally, in person.
In person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Mr. Vandenburg complied with your request?
He participated in the interview.
Okay. I think you indicated you had some assistance from the athletics department.
The players had a schedule every day, and so the athletics department knew their schedule and then made arrangements for them to come over after they had completed their activities for the day.
So you kind of have a middle, somebody else facilitating when you can interview individuals, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. These series of questions that you asked Mr. Vandenburg, were those questions that were pre-discussed, predetermined? Had you developed an outline prior to your interview?
A few of them at the beginning, but some of them were informed by some of the information that other people provided during the course of the interviews.
Okay. Give me just, can I have 1 minute, please, Judge?
All right.
Mr. Black, other than the 2 individuals and the individual being interviewed in this, was it an office?
Yes.
A conference room?
No, it was in my office.
In your office? Shut the door behind you when the person being interviewed walked in?
Yes.
Okay. Was there anybody else supervising the other interviewees that were outside of your office?
They were seated in a conference room, and I believe a member of the athletics department staff was in there with them.
Do you know who that was?
I believe it was Kevin Colon.
Kevin Colon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are you aware that the cell phones were taken up from the interviewees and told them they couldn't have their cell phones, they couldn't leave? Are you aware of that?
I don't remember that.
I don't care what he's aware of, because he wasn't present.
Do you know if the cell phones were taken up?
I don't know.
Object to that.
Sustained.
Is the Vanderbilt, is it a dry campus?
No,
It's not a dry campus?
No.
You can have alcohol on campus?
if you're over 21.
Okay. And the students can have alcohol on campus?
Yes.
Can they have it in their dorm rooms?
Yes.
Okay. Don't have anything further going.
Read it right.
No, Your Honor, I know where you're at.
All right, thank you, Mr. Black.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Who's the next witness?
Detective Jacob Mayo.
All right. I was going to take a break in about, we can go about 15 minutes and then we'll take a short break.
Judge, maybe a second, he way down in the phone,
He's a little slow, huh? I was just kidding. I know Detective Mayo well.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Sir, would you please tell us your name and spell your last name for us?
Jason Mayo, M-A-Y-O.
By whom you employed?
The Metro Nashville Police Department
How long have you been so employed?
since January of 2000.
And in January of 2000, when you came with the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, what was your first assignment?
After graduating the police academy, you're assigned to the patrol division with a training officer for 6 months, and then you're out on your own.
And how long did you stay in patrol?
Till 2009.
And what happened after that?
In 2009, I transferred to the sex crimes unit within the Metro Police Department.
And how long have you spent now in sex crimes?
Coming up on 7 years.
So were you working in that capacity back in June of 2013 and thereafter?
I was.
Okay. Pardon me. Is the unit, the sex abuse unit, is that localized to like one part of town, cover the entire county? Just explain a little bit, what do you do in that unit?
We cover the entire county. We work cases in every part of Davidson County.
And are you assigned a specific shift to work?
You are, yes.
Okay. And in June of 2013, did there come a time when it was your turn to be assigned a particular case that's led you here today?
It was, yes.
Okay. Do you recall approximately the time and perhaps the date that you were first
Yes.
notified about this?
June the 26th, I believe, of 2013, I received a phone call from my supervisor as I was getting ready for work to come in. I was working the evening shift that time. I came into the office around 2:30 in the afternoon, and I received that phone call from my supervisor around 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon.
And who was your supervisor at that time?
Sergeant Mike Shreve,
And for the court reporter, how do you spell his last name?
S-H-R-E-E-V-E.
And is Sergeant Shreve now in the world of retirement?
He is.
All right. So, being your sergeant, was he obviously a supervisor and one who would tell you what to do.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Now, certainly do not want to go into anything the sergeant may have told you, but pursuant to his directive,
Yes.
when you came on duty, where, if anywhere, did you go, and what, if anything, did you do that afternoon?
I was asked to respond to the Vanderbilt University Police Department's administrative building where the Criminal Investigation Division is housed.
Okay. Had you ever been to that building before?
Not that particular building, no.
Okay. Do you remember anything, what it's like, where it is? You able to-
Well, I believe it's moved since then, but at that time, it was kind of by itself, in a building by itself, and it was just basically administrative offices and things of that nature in that building that I remember.
Okay. I want to ask, had you worked in the years that you've been with the police department, Metro Nashville Police Department, had you worked with Vanderbilt University Police Department?
On occasion, yes.
And do they have a patrol unit, marked unit, as well as detective units?
Yes, they do, yes.
Okay. May getting a little bit far, but is the patrol unit and the detective units, are they in the same building, or?
At that time, they weren't.
Oh,
No.
okay. All right. So you go to the administrative building, and again, without telling what people would have told you, but who, if anyone, did you meet with there?
I met with, of course, my sergeant, who was there, and Lieutenant Barrios from Vanderbilt University Police Department.
And perhaps with the court reporter, if you know how to spell his last name.
It's a female,
Or her, I'm sorry.
B-E-R Elias.
Okay. Close enough.
Close.
All right.
And then I was asked to meet with the victim in this case.
Okay. And approximately what time was it, we know when you got the call,
Right.
approximately what time was it when you got to Vanderbilt, the police, the detective?
By the time I got through traffic, it was probably 3 or 3:30, somewhere in that time frame when I eventually got there.
Okay. How long did you spend with the detectives in the administrative building?
A couple of hours, I believe.
Okay. While there, did you see anything related to this case?
I did. I saw a couple of still shots from surveillance video.
Okay. When you say a couple, do you mean two or?
It was 3, 4, maybe. It wasn't very many at all. 4 or 5 at the most, probably.
Or if I could show counsel, please.
All right.
Or if I could ask this be,
All right.
group of photos be passed. Detective Mayo being handed a couple or more of photographs. I would ask if you could take a look at those and see if you recognize those.
I do. I do recognize these photographs.
And just for the record, how many are there?
I'm sorry?
Count, so I'll have a number.
Appear to be 8.
8. If you could just hold on to those for a second.
Yes, sir.
Did you, upon seeing those photographs, recognize any of the people depicted in them?
I did not recognize any of those people other than the victim I was asked to speak with.
Okay. And this is where I'm asking about time-wise. Did you see the photographs, the 8 photographs first, or victim first?
I walked into the room and the interview, or they were speaking with her already, and then as they were speaking with her, I was looking at the photographs.
Okay. And that's where I was just trying
Yes.
to set the time, so almost contemporaneous?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you recall anything about the young lady, victim, about her appearance, demeanor, upon your first laying eyes on her?
She appeared to be unconscious.
No.
I'm sorry. Oh.
When you saw her.
Not in the photographs, okay.
Yes, there at the detective's.
I'm with you now, I'm sorry. When we initially met with her that day, she was somewhat confused, dumbfounded, not really sure what was going on, is a very good way to put it.
And at least in your presence, was she shown any one or all of these photographs?
She was shown several, yes.
Okay. And if you could relate to us again, not necessarily what she said, but did she have any demonstrable demeanor change, any reaction that you saw upon reviewing these?
She was still confused. She recognized her and one other person in those pictures, but that was it. So she was quite unsure of what she was seeing, I guess is another good way to put it.
Okay. And Detective Mayo, on that day, did you see, or that evening, did you see any moving videos, any actual videos?
No, sir, not that evening, no.
Okay. So upon seeing these 8, and Your Honor, I would tender those as the next exhibit. I believe we're at number 7. Or am I miscounting?
Yes, it would be number 7.
Okay. And Judge, what I would ask to do, this is purely old school because don't want to put them on the overhead, but once Ms. Halstead marks them, if they could be just passed to the jury.
Yes. That is correct.
Do you want to go ahead and show them?
I think now, because it ties in with, I apologize, I should have given you a heads up about making little exhibit numbers.
Wouldn't it be a good time to take a snack?
Well, I was going to take a break in just a few minutes, just a few.
That's why I was thinking if we pass this, it might be.
Right.
If you don't mind, if I could have those. Thank you. Do you want to continue for a few minutes, or?
Well, I didn't know if you had follow-up questions to the photographs or...
It'll sort of lead into several more.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and just take our last break for the day. About